Hi boys and girls, I'm so glad to see you at Craft Time. We're going to have lots of fun today. My name's Miss Linda and I'm so happy to be here with you. Today we're going to make some rockets. How many of you would think it would be fun to go up in a rocket in the sky? Well, you know, one day when Jesus comes, we're not going to need a rocket to go in the sky. We're going to be able to fly right up to him and explore all kinds of planets and all kinds of really neat things that he's created for us. We're going to make our rockets and then we're going to make some butterflies. You know, these butterflies are so cute. I know you boys probably don't want butterflies hanging around your room, but you could make some for your mom. But girls, you could even make these butterflies. You could hang them in your room and make your room so cute. You can do them in all different colors, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that today. But first, let's go with our rockets. Now, these are not hard to make. Just watch real carefully what I do, and you'll be an expert in no time. So you've got 3 pieces of construction paper, and you've got 2 pieces of tissue paper. So let's put the tissue paper away for right now, and let's pick whichever color you want for your windows in your spaceship. I decided I want yellow for my windows, all right? So anyhow, how you're gonna make your circles is you have your toilet paper roll, okay? Because we know somebody's buying a lot of toilet paper these days. So we're going to take our toilet paper roll and we're going to put it right on our yellow paper or whatever color you have. Now you're going to take a pencil, and if you don't have a pencil, go get one right now, and because you'll need it to trace with, all right? So when you get your pencil, just take it, hold your toilet paper roll at the top like this, kind of hold it pretty tight, put a little bit of force on it because you don't want it slipping around. Okay, so you're going to draw around it. Just take your time and just draw around it. You might have to move your pencil different ways to kind of be able to get it. Okay, and you have one circle. Okay, now move it over and do that same thing again. Just draw another circle with your pencil. Don't forget to hold on to it kind of tight because you don't want it slipping out from under your fingers. Okay, so now we have 2 circles, all right? So what you're going to do to make it easier on yourself, cut those out. Just cut your paper like this and get those cut out. And then go ahead and cut it like that. Now you've got your 2 circles, and now you're just going to cut them out. And, you know, just do the best you can do. If they're not perfect, don't let that bother you. Just take your scissors and just carefully cut. Always watch for those fingers. Just keep cutting. All right, well, I've got one window, and then we're going to cut our second window. It's pretty easy so far, isn't it? Okay, there's your second window. All right, now you still have your 2 pieces of construction paper. Now we're going to cover our toilet paper roll with the color. I decided I want to make mine purple. So what you're going to do, lay your construction paper down on your table or wherever you are working and fold it in half. And so that fold it in half. Now make sure, you know, you're fold it this way, not that way, okay? So fold it this way in half. And you got it folded. So here we'll do it again. You just fold it over, make a crease. All right, everybody got that part done? Now pick it up And we're just going to cut it on that crease. I'm going to kind of fold mine back and forth a few times on that same crease, just so it's easier for me to see when I cut it. All right, there we go. We're just going to cut it right down the middle. Basically, all we're doing is dividing our paper in half so that it will fit our toilet paper roll better. So now you've got your toilet paper roll, okay? And what you're going to do, it might help you if you take your Scotch tape, so your hands are free when you need it. Tear a little piece of Scotch tape off and just stick it on something. Maybe you got a glue stick. Just kind of lay it on the very top of your glue stick just so that it's ready for you to grab, because, you know, and then you're going to take your toilet paper roll and just lay it down, okay? And if you look how I'm doing, I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can without my toilet paper roll showing, okay? And then once I get it like that, and I know it's lined up pretty well, I'm going to take this little piece of tape and I'm just going to tape it down, okay? Now your hands are free because you know that's taped down. You can take another piece of tape and you can tape it there so it's nice and secure. So what you did is you just took your toilet paper roll, you laid it down on the edge, rolled it up a little bit, and then you put tape to hold it, okay? Now you can just roll it along like that until it's all the way closed, okay? Then take your glue stick, because we can always put tape on it later, but it will be easier for you right now if you just take your glue stick. But let me do that one more time. You've got it taped. Just take it and roll it, and just keep rolling it. And you see where you're starting to see your purple? When all you can see is purple, then take some glue and just mash it down like that. Put plenty of glue and roll it over that glue, okay? And then, you know what? Just to make it easier for you, just glue all the way to the end instead of trying to have you cut it. Just put some more glue and roll it all the way to the end. Okay, and then it should stay pretty tight. But what you might want to do, you might want to take 1 or 2 little pieces of tape just to be on the safe side, just to hold it, because your glue's kind of wet and you're going to be working on it. So just to be on the safe side. Okay, so is everybody in about the same space as I am? Then pick it up. Now, you see how the paper's over the toilet paper roll there? That's not a problem because we're going to hide that. We're going to make our spaceship purple inside, or whatever your color is. You're going to take it and just press it in all the way around. This is going to make it easier for you to put your cap on the top of your spaceship later on. And nobody's going to see any of this anyhow. So just press that down, and now you've got your toilet paper roll all covered with your paper. Okay, so the next step is we're going to put our windows on. So, you know, you've got your seam back here where you put your tape. Maybe let's turn it and put our windows in the front. We'll just leave that in the back where nobody sees it. And take your windows and put some glue on them. Put plenty of glue. Try to get your glue all the way to the edge. Otherwise, your windows will kind of want to peel up or... Okay. So you choose where you want your window. Now, don't put it all the way to the top, because you can look at these samples and you can see that the top of your ship is going to come down a little bit. So it's better to kind of start toward the bottom here and put one down here like that. And then let's take our next one and let's put our glue on it. Remember to get all the way to the edge so that when you press it onto your spaceship, it's going to stay. All right. And remember, don't put it all the way up to here. See about how much space I left on those? That's about how much space we're going to leave on this. Right there. and press them down good. Okay, now you've got your windows and you've got your spaceship, but we got to make this part. Now, this, you're going to take your next piece of construction paper, and I'm going to help you make a square that's a lot easier for you to work with. So just fold your paper. Here you go. You got your paper. Fold it over this way, and just make your crease. All right, I'll do that one more time just in case you didn't have your paper ready. So you take your paper, you fold it over like that, okay? And then you're gonna fold it one more time. Just fold it over this way, okay? Just like that. Do you want me to do that one more time just in case you might have missed something? You got your paper laying right in front of you. You're gonna fold it over, and then you're gonna turn it and fold it over again. And the only reason we did that is to make it easier for you to know what size to make your circle. Now open up your paper and cut one of these squares out. Just take your scissors and you can keep the other 4 because maybe you'll decide to make 3 more of these and you've already got your stuff to make your circles with. So now, if you have something, and if you make more of these, if you have something that's perfectly round like this, you could put it down and trace it, but we won't worry about doing that because you may not have something like that. But you can see about the size of this circle. That's about the size that we're going to go for when we're cutting it. So just take your scissors and just cut yourself a circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle because the way we're going to use it, it's not going to matter that much if it's perfect. Just try to make it about that size. Mine looks kind of a little bit ovally, but that's okay. It's still going to work. So I'll give you another few seconds to get your circle cut. And when you get that all done, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick it up and you're going to cut just halfway, just to the middle. Take one cut from the edge to the middle, just like this. See? Just one cut like that. All right? And I think maybe it would be the easiest thing for you to go ahead and, well, we can use a glue stick for this part. You just pick up your paper and you go like this and you just turn it and turn it, turn it till you get it to a decent point. See, my point's like that when you're looking at it that way, and it's like that when you're looking at it that way. And then just hold it tight with your fingers so it doesn't undo. Put a little bit of glue under there. And then just press it down. And you should have enough glue. You might want to take a little piece of tape on the inside because it'd be harder to glue there now. Just take a little piece of tape and glue that piece down too. And see? So all you did is you took it and you just rolled it together and glue it down. Okay? So now, I think we're going to put our streamers on because eventually we're going to put this on top of here. But for right now, it's easier to put your streamers because when we glue the top here, it's going to be hard for you to lay it down without it falling off. So just put that to the side, take your spaceship and lay it down out of the way. And now you're going to take your tissue paper. You're not going to, tissue paper's pretty good size. I'm going to show you about how much you're going to only need to do this. You're going to only need about this much. Depends how your tissue paper came folded, or I would tell you just 2, but depends on where you bought it, I guess. But you're just gonna, you need a piece about that big is all you need. Then put your tissue paper away. Maybe you can make some more with it later. And then take your next tissue paper. I chose to use red and orange because I think it looks more like flames. But if you want a matchy-matchy one, then you can pick tissue paper to match whatever so whatever you have is just fine. So cut the same amount, about like this. Then you can just put this tissue paper away. Okay, so now we're going to make the streamers. If you look close, you see about how wide my streamers are? And you're welcome to make them however you want to make them, but they work better if you make them about this distance, about that wide. All righty, so let's do that. You probably want to do one sheet at a time. I tried doing two together, but it didn't work out so well. So just start cutting. Just start cutting your streamers out. You might be thinking, oh, that's a lot of streamers, but you want to have enough so it looks really nice and full when your spaceship's taken off. So just keep on cutting. And remember, if they're not perfectly straight, so, you know, because we're not measuring or anything, if they have a little bit of a curve in them like that, that's okay, because when the fire comes out, when the missile's launching, they're not perfectly straight either, so that's fine. So just keep on cutting. You know, when I was a little girl, my dad worked for NASA. He was a spectrochemist there. And once a year, you got to go tour NASA. And I remember it was so big, those missile bottoms, they were so huge that they filled up almost the entire room. And I don't know if I'm sure they were big, but I'm also sure they seemed extra big because I was little. But it was really neat to get to go see that. All right, just keep on cutting. You know, well, never mind. I better not show you. That might not work out too good. So just cut away. Tissue paper is not the easiest thing in the world to cut, is it? But like I said, it really doesn't matter if your stripes are straight, just as long as you got some. We're just going to attach these to the bottom of our rocket with some Scotch tape. All right. So, however you choose to put your colors together is up to you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of each like this, and then I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape, and I'm going to put it on there so it kind of hooks to both of them. And then I'm just going to take my rocket, and I'm going to stick that right in there like that. Okay, now I'm going to take a couple more. I actually tried doing it with 3, and you can do it like that, and it will put 3 of them together if you have 3 narrow ones. And just make sure your tape sticks to part of all three of them, like that. Remember, you don't have to worry about them all being the same height. Just stick it in there because it's okay if some of them are longer or shorter than others. Now, if I have real wide pieces like that, then I wouldn't do more than 2 at a time because it's going to be harder to get your tape over it. And just stick that in there, tape down. All right, here goes some more. Okay, hope yours are coming along good. That you're not... Sometimes the tape gets kind of stuck to your hands, doesn't it? See how it's all kind of filling in? Trying to go all the way around. Seems like my red, I have more red than I have orange. But that's okay. It's a little bit harder when you get to those last pieces because you kind of got to move those away and kind of try to make room. But just don't worry about it. Just do the best you can with it. You might kind of just have to put some like that. And sometimes you might have to put another piece of tape on, and that's okay too. Whatever it takes. Well, that one's just not wanting to stick at all. And there you go. So now you have your streamers on. You don't have to use all the ones you cut, but you can if you want to. But I think I got enough on mine right here. Okay, so now the part comes to where we're going to put our, man, I got a mess. We're going to put our cap on. So you just kind of set it up. Don't worry about messing up your streamers because they're not going to mess up. They'll pop back up. Take your glue. It doesn't matter if you have Elmer's glue, whatever kind of glue you have. Take it, and you're going to have to use a fairly generous amount. And you're just going to put it all around the top like this. Just be careful you don't squeeze too hard, because if you squeeze too hard, it's going to run all down your spaceship. So just carefully put it all around the top. Just like that. So it's all covered. Like that. And then remember our seam is down the back, so where your little seam is right here, you might want to put that in the back so that you don't have one in the front. And then just stick that cap on, kind of push it gently. And then that will dry, and you've got your missile all ready to take off. So I hope you guys had a lot of fun making that, and you can always rewatch the video and make some more in different colors. Alrighty, I'm going to set mine right here so it can dry. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to make those butterflies I was telling you about. These are a lot of fun to make, but the best thing to make them out of is a coffee filter, which you can buy at the store, and quite a few come in a pack, so you can make lots and lots of these to decorate your room. But the most important thing you want to do with these before you color on it, take a piece of cardstock or get a piece of aluminum foil or something to put underneath, because when you color on these, they're kind of going to bleed through a little bit. And so you don't want to get it on your mom's table or your desk or anything like that. So just kind of lay that down, then get your favorite markers. I found that these work the best because, boy, the color really grabs when you color with them, especially if they're, you know, fairly new. And I'm going to give you a couple hints before we get going on this. I made a couple samples. I know some people don't really like to color and other people really do like to color. If you like to color a lot, you can make designs. You can make a rim. I made an orange rim on this one. And I put some orange square and then a big pink square. And I think I'm supposed to put this down on the table, sorry. An orange square and a pink square and a yellow square. And then I put those same kind of polka dots around. And I'll tell you, if you want it to come out kind of like this color, that's what you want to do. Because we're going to spray it with a spray bottle with water when we're done, and you're going to see what happens to it. But please don't do this part on your own. Your moms and dads, make sure that you wait till they can help you do this, because you don't want to get too much water and you don't want to get a mess on anything that's your mom's that might get ruined. So that's the part you do with your parents. But so if you do one kind of in these colors, it's going to come out similar to that. If you do one, if you're one that doesn't like to color a lot, but you just want to get it done, then you can take markers and just kind of do stuff like that. These are some darker colors, and it will come out darker like that one. Then you'll just pick your pipe cleaner for the color that you want to match, or maybe that you don't want to match. But I'll tell you one thing about these. If you put a lot of light color and dark color in it, you have to be careful when you spray it, because some colors are real bright and pretty, but when you mix certain other colors with them, they can kind of turn brown. And I did that right here. You can see where that's a little bit brown and that's a little bit brown. So you got to be kind of a little bit careful with your colors and how much water you put on them. But I'm sure they'll be pretty no matter what. So I'm going to spray these later and show you how to do that for your moms and dads to do. But right now, let's just color. And I'm just going to get down here so I can color mine, and you can kind of see. I think this time I'm going to do a rainbow, just rainbowish colors instead of doing a pattern. I guess I should leave these out so you can see the patterns on these. Let's move that out of the way. Well, I'm just making a mess here. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of put some rainbow colors in. And just kind of see how it ends up coming out when I spray it. Just going to kind of fill it in. The thing about these coffee filters, they're a lot tougher than they look. And the colors really go on them easy. So I'm just kind of putting different colors on it. I hope yours is coming out good. You know, it would kind of be fun too, if you ever had an extra one and wanted to try this again, to write your name a few times all over it, and then when you sprayed it with water, to see what that would look like, how your name would come out. It kind of reminds me of tie-dye. I don't know how many of you in Adventure Club have ever done tie-dye, where you make a shirt, it comes out to look like that. It's a lot of fun. See, this is why you want to make sure you have paper under it, because that's what's happening underneath your coffee filter. Don't worry about it if you get it on your hands, it'll wash out. If you kind of want to just do it the rainbow way like this, if you hold your pen instead of at the top like this, if you hold it at the side, it comes out a lot faster and a lot easier. I'm thinking I might want to put a border on this one, so I'm kind of going to stop like this and go back in and fill that in when I get it all finished. I probably wouldn't put black in it unless you really wanted to, because I'm not too sure how that would change some of your other colors. If you notice that you're seeing some of the other colors coming through, it's really not coming through. It's just showing up on your paper. You're just seeing it through, but it shouldn't bleed through to your colors that you're coloring with. And then I think what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to put a little border on mine, like go like this, and put some color around it. Because remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, because when we spray it, you'll see how it's going to change. It's going to almost look like a stained glass window. If you've ever noticed a stained glass window in your church. Well, this was almost done, so I can show you what it's going to look like when I spray it. Then you could pick whatever color you want for your pipe cleaner. Okay, I think I'm going to let this one sit for just a minute because it's kind of wet. So I'm going to set it right over here so you can see it, but I'm going to spray one of these. I think I'll do this one first, okay? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my spray bottle, and I'm going to spray it. Kind of fan it so the color moves around. See how it's all kind of smearing together? It's kind of turning, they're pretty tough actually, like they don't, but this is why you need to have your moms and dads help you when you spray, because you can make a real big mess with this. Like, look at my hands. Okay, so now before you could turn this into a butterfly, you'd have to let it dry. Okay, so we'll just let that sit down and dry. Okay, and then actually I'm going to put it on this paper because that one's so wet. Okay, and now this one, should have brought some gloves, I guess. Okay, this one, I don't want to get my dirty hands on this. See how it's kind of turning into more like a stained glass window? This one had a lot of white in it still. It depends. If you want to see white in yours, leave some white so that when the colors turn, it just kind of, see how that kind of looks like a tie-dye shirt? Now that will have to dry for a while before we can make it into butterfly. So probably our best bet is just to let these two sit. That one's actually going to be pretty when it's all done, those colors. And that one's going to be real pretty. But I think what I'm going to show you on this one, I'm going to go ahead and make this into butterfly so you can see exactly how you do this. You'll need your one pipe cleaner, and then you'll need this. This one's fairly dry now, but I'm not going to spray this one until we're done because otherwise I can't show you how to make it work. So you're going to take it like this. You're just going to push it in the middle like that. See how I've done that? You just take it, kind of start in the middle, work it like this, put it like this, take your pipe cleaner and wrap it just once around like that. So you actually could have a butterfly that way if you just want it. If you want a butterfly like that, you could just go like that and make his antennas. But I think they look cuter when they have the 4 wings. So you take it and do the same thing. Push it down like that. Push it up like that. And we're going to straighten it up a little when we get them tied up. And take and wrap one of those around like that. And then you can take your other one and just go like that, okay? Because pipe cleaners you can bring up however you need. So there you've got your little butterfly. Okay, I'm going to cut this one off right here. And then you're just going to take and go like this and curl his little antennas. Okay, and then see he's got the 4 wings. And now I'm going to spray him so you can see what color he's going to turn. See, he's kind of turning tie-dye. I didn't put a lot of dark color in him because, like I said, it kind of runs together and makes it. There you go. You've got your nice little butterfly. And these are going to actually be really pretty. This is going to make a really pretty butterfly when it dries. And this one's going to make a really pretty one too once it dries. So you can do it either way. You can go ahead and put them together and then spray them, or you can spray them and let them dry for about an hour and then put them together. So that's it for our craft time today. I'm so glad you joined us, and I hope you had a lot of fun, and I hope to see you back tomorrow where we're going to make some more fun crafts. Bye.